research on underserved students has been something I've been engaged in for a long time, and I find that faculty around the country, and then working with faculty in Canada, especially who are interested in broadening participation to Indigenous students in undergraduate research. I've been sharing some of the pieces of that for a while with different groups, and each group has been a little bit different, of course, but I think the first of the five strategies is about recruiting students more intentionally in places that are perhaps non-traditional for undergraduate research recruitment. I didn't know that this was, I didn't come up with that innovation myself. It was a practice of faculty who preceded me at Bridgewater State University, of several faculty, especially in the writing program, hold office hours in the Center for Multicultural Affairs and work with students on drafts for first-year writing in the center, which is brilliant. It really reduces the anxiety or the tension for first-year students, especially students who are in a minority on a campus and having to have their first interactions with a professor. So to have it there has been transformational, I think, is not too much of an exaggeration.
When students don't see someone who looks like them conducting research, they may not identify as a potential researcher. It's not always feasible for a faculty member of color to mentor all of the undergraduate researchers of color, for instance. But the more that we can show students that there are successful researchers who look like them, who have had similar life experiences, who have faced similar societal challenges, the more likely they are to engage in an undergraduate research experience.
I have a colleague in the sciences who had heard from students that most of the biology or most of the science labs had journal club on Friday afternoons when there weren't courses and course-based labs being taught. And that was a time when there was time to do journal club and to do undergraduate research. And the fact is, with working class students, many of whom have jobs in hospitality and retail, Friday afternoon through Sunday night is when they can earn money. So we're missing whole groups of students by the scheduling. So this colleague of mine changed his journal club to Monday afternoon, and he has the most diverse group of student researchers in the College of Science and Math. And he said to me, I had no idea. It was, it's slightly inconvenient for him and massively more convenient for students. So it's just an example of that. The practice is to listen and think creatively about inclusion.
One of the challenges that universities face when they are trying to scale up access to mentored undergraduate research is we often think about our mythical best student. Sometimes that's a student who has a similar trajectory as us. They may be an A student. They may be the student who is really speaking out in class, being the most engaged in the context that we're encountering students. Sometimes, though, we overlook the students who could bring a lot of unique perspectives to the research and may be very motivated, but aren't necessarily the ones who hear our invitation to participate as an authentic invitation, or may have other challenges that make it difficult for them to participate. If they are needing to work part-time to sustain their living environment, or if they are also caring for a family member, or having other life events that impose on their time for the university experience, they may not be the first student we think of in terms of who we want to mentor, but they may be some of the best researchers, and they're certainly students that we should think about giving access to this high-impact practice. So one of the chapters in the collection, in particular, Jenny Shanahan's chapter, addresses some of these challenges and pushes faculty or challenges faculty to think about how we can support all of our students and really scale up access, not just in the number of mentored undergraduate experiences, but also thinking about who we invite to partner with us on undergraduate research.
These practices maybe would all fall under social emotional support, so that the nature of good mentoring is really about that responsiveness to the needs of the student. And so you'll see that in the practice of thinking about bridge building. So if a student has a need to feel more connected to their home community and also feel like they're not betraying the home community by participating in this very academic kind of work, that's a need for a faculty mentor to address with practical outreach. The examples include inviting family members to symposia on campus, but not just inviting them, making sure that that mentor is there to meet them and welcome them and create a hospitable environment for them. But it can also, it came up again and again from the students, that understanding of how much complexity and sometimes chaos and stress, sadly, is part of their lives. And so as much as a faculty mentor can display that cultural humility that Brad Johnson spoke of, that cultural humility, like, teach me about what your needs are, and I'm really going to listen and with you come up with the creative solutions that will suit your situation.